My name is Alanna Dugger. I'm a firefighter, and I'm out of the 99th cadet class. Leading up to me being a firefighter and starting the academy, I did have to train a lot physically. I spent about 2 years preparing both in the gym and also researching. So I did have to prepare a lot because I was not adequately there for strength, and this job is a lot of strength and endurance. So I did prepare a lot before coming in. When doing my research, I definitely was not as prepared for the fire, and that was my own doings because coming in I was very set on going to paramedic school right away. So I didn't research into fire as much as I wish I did because I do love the fire aspect of the job, and the EMS is something I've always known I've loved. So that was the easy part coming into this. All the way from the academy up until my probationary year, the whole 11 months, I was very fortunate to have been in one spot for as long as I was. I was at Station 5 for about 6 months straight before I started floating out again, and I'm now back towards the end of when I finished my probationary year. But it was honestly a very good year. I've had some good firefighters who's helped me learn, both Corey and Ubel. They taught me a lot in just a short amount of time. They took their time out of their day to come just sit out here with me for a couple hours, train me. Jason Fayer, he definitely gave me a lot of really cool drills at the very beginning, and Lieutenant Montes stepped in right after that. Him and Captain Otero gave me a lot of really cool drills and such a small understanding of what this job is, but definitely a good baseline for me to start, and been learning a lot ever since.
Good.
Hey, boo. Thanks, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm just repeating myself too.
There's normally a lot of overlap.
Okay. This is easier because I know you. I think if it was anyone else, I might have been a little more nervous. Yeah. The advice I have for rookies coming in is to be patient with yourself, but also your officers. You are somebody brand new. It is hard for somebody to trust you when you're just playing out of the field. They don't know who you are yet. So be patient with yourself and be prepared to keep learning, and don't come up with excuses when you mess something up. Just take it in the chin and listen to what they have to say and learn from it. You're gonna always be making a mistake, but you wanna try to minimize how bad that mistake is. And you don't wanna repeat the same mistakes over and over. So just learn from it, understand what you did wrong, fix it. It's not gonna be your last mistake, it's not your first mistake. Just keep making them, learn from it every time. That's all really you need to do to make a successful rookie year. The social stuff will come into play if you are on your skills and keep training. Just do it for you and do it for the guys you're gonna be working with, because you're here with them 48 hours. So with those calls that you have a hard time with, they don't go the way you expected, just find that person that you can talk to who knows what they're doing. When I had experienced that fire over in Nines District where I had 2 fatalities, there was a pediatric patient involved. I did have a hard time with that, just in the sense of like, what could I have done more? What could have I done? What ifs? But you want to try avoid those what ifs, and just find that person you can call just to talk about it with. Don't feel bad for having a bad call and feeling bad about it. If you're sad, if you need to cry, let it out. You're human. We're not meant to see certain things. So just finding that person you can talk to. You can talk about the what ifs all day. Just learn from what you did the last time and figure out from there like what you could do better next time, but don't dwell on that bad call, because you make that call bigger than it needs to be when you did what you could do if you did do your job. As of right now, my goals for my career, I want to, at minimum, pipe for 5 years. I want to become efficient in my position before I try to move up in my career. I want to be good at my EMT basic, but before I move on to suppression driving, that's what I want to do. From there, I'm going to do minimum 5 years of driving suppression, and then from there, I'm going to decide whether or not I want to continue with either paramedic school or go to lieutenant school. So with being a female in the department, I did learn very early on in the academy, it's that this job is very male dominated for a reason. No matter what, you're gonna be not as fast or as strong. That doesn't mean you can't do the job, just means you need to find different ways of doing it. Whether it's the technique you use, because at the end of the day, the men are gonna be stronger and faster just naturally. So you got to find your way around it, because you can't use that excuse of being a woman that you can't do a position, because you're expected to do the exact same job as the 6'4" dude who's 200 pounds, and he could throw a ladder easily, and you might have to find a different work around it, whether it's technique or just working on yourself outside of work, both in training for the job, but also in the gym, because you're gonna have to always work just a little bit harder than the other guys just to be here. I'm finished. That's it.
Anything else? That sounds great. All right.
All good? You need me to repeat anything?